I bought some of the weirdest WCA puzzles, and today I'm going to be unboxing them for the very first time. I'm going to unbox these puzzles one by one from least anticipating to most anticipating. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first puzzle we have today here is a magic clock. Apparently a magnetic one, and it comes in this manual, in Chinese of course, and in English side. Pretty rare case. Now we have the actual clock itself. Now, the clock feels really nice. It's really nice to turn. I have never actually owned the clock before, so it was a bit weird trying to figure out what everything does and the buttons. But overall, it's actually a really good clock. And for only $10, I'd say it's really worth it to those of you who like this event. Me personally, I just find it weird and I got it because, it was weird. Next up, we have the Moyu Square 1. It is a budget Square 1 that comes in the manual, only in Chinese of course, and then we have the actual Square 1 itself. So the Square 1, while being budget, is really good out of the box and requires little to no setup, and I gotta say, if you want to get into Square 1, then go ahead and buy this cube, because of how affordable it is and how good it is. Speaking of Moyu, next up we have the Moyu Cube. So opening up the box, we are greeted to the actual cube itself, which is wrapped in plastic seal, and of course the usual stand, as well as the very original, never before seen Moyu toolbox, which comes in the manual on how to use the tools, as well as another one on actually how to solve the cube, both of which in Chinese of course. And we of course have the settings tool, as well as the screwdriver. And with everything packed up, it's finally time to take a look at the cube itself. So the cube feels really nice and is magnetic, which is really good. And the cube, again, requires little to no setup. I have to say that the Moyu Cube is one of the best cubes. I originally wanted to get the GAN one, but then I realized it was too expensive. But the Moyu one still holds up great, and even with some custom lube, it can be really good. It also has that same Moyu logo as it does in the Super Moyu Cube. Last but surely not least, the YJ Megaminx. So this cube is weird. It only comes with the Megaminx. No other additional contents in the box. Actually opening up the puzzle, and it feels great. It has really good ridges and it has turning that is phenomenal for a budget Megaminx. It is also magnetic, may I remind you. And with some setup, it can literally be as good as a GAN Megaminx. Maybe even better because of the ridges. I highly recommend this cube for anyone who wants to start out with Megaminx. So I've been using these puzzles for a few days now. I think it's been 3 days I've been using them since the time I recorded the unboxing. So I just want to give my final thoughts on each and every one of them. First up is the Sango Magic Clock. This is a $10 clock that you can get. This clock is apparently magnetic. I think it's talking about the buttons. It turns really nicely. I really like how it feels. But I mainly bought the clock because of how weird it is. This is a WCA puzzle. People associate cubing competitions with, I don't know, cubes. So, that's why I really got it. I kind of want to learn how to solve it because of how weird and wonky it is. Just look at it. Like, who wouldn't want to solve it? Out! Sunny, out! Overall, for a $10 clock, it's really good. Next up is the Moyu Square 1. And I kind of wanted the Square 1 because it's a shape-shifting cube. And, look at this. And it's so funny to me that the first step of Square 1 is called a square step, where you just put the cube back to a square shape. I always found that funny for some reason. I guess because I never had a Square 1. So, my thoughts about this cube, really good out of the box. I haven't set it up yet because I haven't learned how to solve a Square 1 yet. I only learned how to solve the cube in Megaminx, which I'll get to in a second. But it feels really good out of the box. A bit sandy, like a little bit sandy. But if you just put some Mystic in it, then I think it'll be fine. This cube overall turns really great, and for a $5 Moyu cube, I highly recommend anyone getting this if you want to learn how to solve Square 1. and then invest another $25 into getting an actually good square one, like the MGC square one. Get it custom lubricated if you can. Next up is the Moyu's cube. So this cube is magnetic, which I'm really happy about. It's really good with the turning. It actually took me a few hours to figure out how it turns, because the turning style is weird. Like it could turn like this, then it can also turn like this, and it's super weird to figure out. But I think once you figure it out, the puzzle becomes super easy. Like, I genuinely think this is the easiest puzzle I own in regards to how to solve. I think only second to this, which I made a YouTube short about. Go check it out if you haven't already. So this cube, yeah, is really easy. It's really fun, really cheap too. And again, if you want to get into skew, this is one of the best scubes to buy. And I mean, it's Moyu. You can't really go wrong with Moyu. It also feels really good out of the box, and I didn't really set it up yet. There is a bit of spring noise, but there is a way to remove it. But there's no real need to set it up. It's already really good out of the box. Finally, we have the MGC Mega Minx. So what's cool about this Mega Minx, unlike the GAN one, is it has these little ridges, and these ridges give you a good grip for whenever you turn the can't even really say cube, whenever you turn the Mega Minx. And it actually feels really good. Like, I think this is the best budget Mega Minx money can buy, and for only $13 you get such a great experience. Out of the box is a bit sandy. If you put Mystic Lube, then it gets to that fast pace and smoothness you want. And this cube also runs on a spring system. And what I found out is if you take out the spring, and if you put like some weight 3 or weight 5 lube into the spring, and you close it up, no matter how tight or light the spring is, the spring sound will be completely removed. So that really helps with how the cube performs. Overall, I can easily say the best budget Mega Minx on the market. I don't even, at this point, after setup, I don't even know if I want to shift to the GAN Mega Minx now, because this one is just so good, and it's magnetic, and you cannot go wrong with this Mega Minx. All in all, I am really happy to have these puzzles in my collection, and I gotta say, even though for a budget unboxing, I think I get more than a budget experience. And if you guys want any of these puzzles or more, go check out the links in the description. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!